The most expensive suit in this video can make you look broke. The cheapest can make you look rich. Same body, different cut. We ranked them. 7 work against you, 5 work for you. Number 1 is Men's Wearhouse. Fused chest, polyester blend, no drape. A $200 to $400 Men's Wearhouse suit is built on 3 failures, stacked on each other. Failure 1, fused chest. The interlining inside the jacket front is glued to the cloth, not stitched. Heat-bonded adhesive sandwiched between the wool and the lining. Failure 2, polyester wool blend on most entry SKUs. Synthetic fibers spun into the yarn to lower cost. The cloth catches light wrong under any room with a window. Failure 3, partial lining and no shoulder structure. The jacket has no shape until you put it on, and once you put it on, it has no shape on you. The combination creates the visible bubbling. After 30 to 50 wears, the glued interlining starts to separate from the cloth. Small ripples appear across the chest. They cannot be pressed out. The fuse is permanent until it fails, and when it fails, the jacket is finished. A fused chest has no drape because there is no floating canvas between the cloth and the body. The cloth lies flat against the chest like cardboard. The man who has worn a Men's Wearhouse suit has felt that flatness in the mirror. The next brand on the list is the harder story because it once was the standard. Number 2, Brooks Brothers. Brooks Brothers opened in 1818 on the corner of Catherine and Cherry Streets in New York City. Henry Sands Brooks founded the company. It is the oldest American apparel brand. The 1818 mainline is half canvas with Italian fabric. That construction is honest. The 1818 mainline jacket can drape. The decline narrative does not run through the 1818 mainline. It runs through what surrounds it. The brand now sits under Catalyst Brands, formed January 2025 through the merger of Spark Group and JCPenney. Shareholders include Authentic Brands Group, Simon Property, Brookfield, and Shine, the Chinese ultra-fast fashion company. The 1818 American heritage brand and the world's largest fast fashion retailer now sit on the same cap table. The diffusion lines tell a different construction story than the 1818 mainline. Red Fleece and the Outlet 346 lines use cheaper fabric and lighter construction. The Golden Fleece logo prints across all of them. A buyer recognizing the logo cannot read the tier from the rack. The Milano Slim Cut narrowed too far for men over 40. Shorter jacket, narrower chest, gorge raised, lapel shrunk. The proportion distorts on a real body. The body did not fail. The cut shrank. Brooks Brothers at 1818 is still half canvas. Brooks Brothers below that line is something else. And the next brand never had any pretense of being more. Number 3, Express. The Express suit is built for a 25-year-old mannequin and sold to anyone who walks in the store. The jacket is cut short, the trouser rises low, the chest is graded slim before any tailor has measured the wearer. On a 45-year-old frame with a normal chest-to-waist ratio, the proportion fails 3 ways. Short jacket exposes too much trouser break. Low rise pulls the trouser cradle wrong on the seat. Slim grading distorts the shoulder-to-waist ratio that creates the V-shaped silhouette. The pattern was not graded for the body in the mirror. It was scaled down from a smaller pattern and stretched to fit a larger man. Pattern grading is the engineering discipline behind a flattering suit. A brand that does it correctly recuts the pattern at each size to preserve the proportion. A brand that does it cheaply scales the smallest pattern up and the largest pattern down. Express scales. The same master pattern, shrunk for the small man and stretched for the large one, fits neither correctly. The suit reads cheap because the proportion is wrong on most men, not because the cloth is the problem. A man does not notice the grading. He notices the mirror and he blames himself. The cloth is the second problem. The next brand has the same scaling problem on a worse fabric. Number 4, Zara. What does a 60% polyester suit at $190 look like under a window? It looks shiny. The polyester sheen is the tell every veteran suit wearer learns to spot at 15 feet. Zara cuts the jacket cropped, short waist, narrow lapel, high gorge. The silhouette is built for a fashion cycle photograph, not for a man walking into a meeting. The cropped proportion exposes a long trouser break. The narrow lapel shrinks the chest visually. The high gorge pushes the lapel notch toward the collarbone, shortening the torso on a tall man and crowding it on a short one. The polyester sheen catches every overhead light. The construction is fused throughout. No canvas, no drape, no body. Zara replaces the line every 6 weeks. The supplier is rotated. The pattern is rotated. The cloth is rotated. The customer is the only constant. The man who buys a Zara suit twice in 2 years is buying 2 different garments under one label. The suit cannot be tailored because the cloth cannot hold a seam. It cannot be repressed because the fuse will not take heat. The cost is the disposal cycle. The next brand made the same mistakes inside a mall name people still trust. Number 5. Calvin Klein. The Calvin Klein suit on the department store rack is not made by Calvin Klein. The brand is owned by PVH Corporation. The men's tailored clothing license sits with Peerless Clothing, the Montreal company that is the largest maker of men's suits in North America. Peerless builds the suits for Calvin Klein, DKNY, Kenneth Cole, Tommy Hilfiger, and a dozen other names off the same factory floor. The lapel on a Calvin Klein mall suit is glued to the body of the jacket rather than stitched through canvas. Over time, the adhesive on the lapel roll can bubble where the cloth meets the chest. The shoulder is unstructured, no canvas, no padding, no roping. It sounds like a feature. On a frame above 40, it reads as a failure. Without structure, the shoulder line sags. The chest collapses inward. The jacket folds rather than falls. The grading is generic across sizes. The cloth on most SKUs is a wool poly blend at the lower tier and pure wool at the upper, but the construction is fused throughout. The label still says Calvin Klein. The designer's name carries the prestige. A licensing office sets the construction budget. The garment is a licensed product at a mall price under a borrowed name, and the fused chest is what the budget allows. The next brand has actual good lines, and the lower ones look like this. Number 6. Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss is the hardest brand on this list to summarize fairly. The brand sells 3 tiers of suit construction under similar names. The standard Boss and Hugo mainline is the $700 to $1,200 tier most buyers see online or in department stores. It is almost entirely fused, with only a small floating chest piece. The Boss tailored line steps up to half canvas, with floating canvas in the chest and lapel, fused below the chest line. The Boss Full Canvas is a limited edition program, roughly 1,500 pieces per season, made in Germany in camel hair canvas with exclusive Italian fabric. The full canvas is the suit the brand can build when it chooses. The mainline is the suit it sells in volume. The fit critique runs deepest at the mainline. The shoulder is aggressively slim. The armhole is high, but the chest is narrow. On a 45-year-old frame, the slim shoulder pinches and the narrow chest fails to drape. The body did not fail. The cut shrank. A buyer paying $900 at the mainline tier is buying fused construction under the same logo that builds full canvas elsewhere. And the next brands hide nothing behind a familiar logo at all. Number 7. DKNY and Kenneth Cole. DKNY suits and Kenneth Cole suits sit at the bottom of the mall licensing tree. The DKNY brand is owned by G3, but the suits, like Calvin Klein's, come from Peerless Clothing, the same Montreal factory. Kenneth Cole's men's tailored clothing license also sits with Peerless. The brands are names printed on garments built to a contract specification. The cloth is wool poly blend on most SKUs at the lower tier. The lapel is glued. The shoulder is unstructured and ungraded. The buttons are plastic stamped to resemble horn. The pattern is shared across sizes with minimal regrading. These are licensed labels, not designer-controlled construction. The designer whose name is on the label did not draft the pattern, choose the canvas, or set the shoulder. A licensing office did. The man buying a DKNY or Kenneth Cole suit at $190 is buying a generic garment. A recognizable name is printed on the inside pocket. The construction is identical to a department store private label at the same price without the name. The label is the only premium. The cut is the same shape the polyester comes in, but the markup is not the problem. The cut is. 5 brands make you look expensive regardless of price. First, Spear & Mackay. A $250 Spear & Mackay suit drapes like a $1,000 suit. The reason is half canvas construction. A cotton and horsehair canvas floats between the cloth and the lining in the chest and lapel. The canvas does not lie flat. It curves. The cloth follows the canvas. The chest drapes. The cloth on the entry red label line is 100% worsted wool. The core line steps up to Australian merino in a super 110 weight. The higher tiers use Italian mill fabric from Drago, Guabello, and Vitale Barberis Canonico, the same mills that supply houses charging 4 figures. The shoulder is a soft spalla camicia construction, lightly padded, natural Italian shoulder, the cut that lets a real frame breathe instead of pinching it. The armhole sits high so the jacket pivots from the shoulder and the chest stays clean when you move. The lining is Bemberg Cupro from Japan, 2-button notch lapel, barchetta breast pocket, hand-sewn Milanese buttonhole on the lapel. Pricing starts under $300 for the Red Label line. It rises to roughly $390 up to $450 for the core merino and the Italian mill fabrics. Even at the top of that range, it drapes like a suit, costing twice the money. The brand is direct to consumer, anti-logo, no marketing budget, no department store markup, no licensing fee buried in the price. The man who buys one is paying for the canvas and the cloth, not the name on the label. The cut earns the receipt at 4 times the price. The next brand earns it differently. Second, Buck Mason Graduate. The Buck Mason Graduate jacket is full canvas. Full canvas means the canvas runs from shoulder to hem, floating between cloth and lining, never glued. The chest molds to the body across the first year of wear and never loses the shape. The shoulder is natural, minimal padding, soft roll, Ivy League American tailoring. Lapel rolls to the middle button, swelled edges, patch pockets on certain SKUs, Italian cotton twill on the warmer weather graduate models. The Fox Air line uses 2-ply twisted worsted wool from the British Fox Brothers mill. It is a crease-resistant travel cloth that holds shape under a suitcase. The jacket currently retails around $698 at full Italian fabric pricing. The trouser sells separately. The full suit lands above the entry point, but well below the European houses at the same construction tier. A buyer paying around $700 for a full canvas jacket pays 1/3 of what a European mainline charges. Same float, 1/3 of the price. The shape lasts because the canvas is sewn, not glued. It molds to one body over 1 decade and holds. The next brand is the bridge between American structure and Italian softness. Third, Sid Mashburn. Sid Mashburn's ready-to-wear suits are full canvas across the line. The shoulder is soft Italian, natural, unpadded, or lightly padded, with a gentle roll into the sleeve head. The cloth is Italian. The make is Italian. The cut is the soft shoulder, full canvas, shaped to the waist silhouette. It follows a real body without slimming it artificially. That is the distinction that matters for a man over 40. A slim suit shrinks the cloth around the body. A shaped suit cuts the cloth to the body's lines. The first fights the frame, the second flatters it. The armhole sits high. A high armhole means more arm movement and better chest drape because the jacket pivots from the shoulder rather than hanging off it. The Virgil and Kincaid No. 2 suits run roughly $1,400 to $1,500 off the rack. The No. 3 line with 3-layer canvas construction runs roughly $2,100 to $2,200. Made to measure begins around $2,300. The drape on a Sid Mashburn suit comes from the canvas. The shape comes from the cut. The cloth follows both. The next brand solves the fit problem at the root. Fourth, proper cloth. What does a suit cut to your specific body do that ready-to-wear cannot? The answer is pattern grading at sample size 1. Proper Cloth is a made-to-measure operation founded in 2008 in New York by Seth Scarrett, an MIT Sloan engineer who built the brand's Smart Fit algorithm. The platform takes a measurement set, runs it through the algorithm, and produces a pattern unique to the body it was cut from. Every other brand on this list scales a master pattern across sizes. Proper Cloth cuts a pattern at sample size 1. That is the root fix. A suit cannot distort a proportion it was built around. Construction options run from soft fused for travel suits up to fully canvassed for the dress tier. The fabric library is Italian. Wool sourcing runs through Albini, Vitale Barberis Canonico, and other Italian mills. Suits start around $900 and run past $1,100 for the higher fabric and full canvas tier. The suit fits because the pattern was cut for the body, not scaled from a generic. A 45-year-old buyer with a 50mm chest-to-waist drop wears a suit graded for his proportion. The fit reads expensive because nothing distorts. The final brand on the list is the Heritage Benchmark. Fifth, Samuelson. Samuelson was founded in 1923 in Montreal. The company has built full canvas suits at the Heritage North American tier for over a century. The construction is full canvas through the chest and lapel. The shoulder is structured but natural, North American structure without the European padding. The cut is graded for real frames with shoulder, chest, and waist recut per size rather than scaled. Cloth comes from Italian and English mills. The full canvas drape is the benchmark every brand on the cheap look side fails to imitate. The story around it is worth knowing. Authentic Brands Group owns the Hickey Freeman name. Samuel Sohn's parent held the Hickey Freeman license and ran production at the historic Rochester factory until 2023. That spring, the license moved to Peerless Clothing and Hickey Freeman production shifted to Mexico. The Rochester factory's manufacturing operation passed to Tom James and was renamed Rochester Tailored Clothing. Through all of it, Samuelson itself stayed independent in Montreal, still building full canvas the way it has since 1923. Pricing runs roughly $1,000 to $1,800 depending on cloth and configuration. One last note, Suit Supply was once the accessible drape answer. Construction quality has slipped steadily in recent years, especially on the promotional lines. Worth noting, not worth ranking. 12 brands, 5 markers, shoulder, natural, soft Italian, structured, or fused flat. Drape, full canvas molds, half canvas holds, fused lies, flat, proportion, lapel, gorge, length, rise, break, armhole, high lets the jacket pivot, low pulls the chest down, grading, recut per size, or scaled from one master to all. You know now exactly why a suit falls badly and exactly what to look for. Our original on this category is linked below at 341,000 views. 7 suit brands to never buy and 5 worth every penny. The men's clothing goldmines breakdown sits at 655,000. Both top this channel. Subscribe. This channel follows the cut, not the logo.